welcome everybody. So the PS3 browsers don't have an incognito mode where it doesn't save your browser history or cookies. But what you can do is just create another user and then delete that after you're finished. So let me show you, and we're going to use that for the remainder of this video. Okay, and actually I'm going to show you how to first access the original browser, because there have been two different versions since the PlayStation 3 was launched. Now all you do is you go into the photo section and click the photo gallery app there, and then select the online instruction manuals, and that actually uses the original browser, which was an Internet Explorer clone. Now when you first use the browser on a high-def TV, the first thing you're going to want to do is go into, so you press triangle, go into tools, then go into display area and select full pixel. So then you can see the address at the top there, or rather the title at the top there now doesn't take up a big chunk of the screen. The same with the address at the bottom. Okay, now let me just show you a technical demo of how to prove this is not the current browser. And what I'm looking at here, these are my videos, and if you need to transfer text between different users, you can actually use the video title or album to actually paste text, and then you can just grab that. So let me show you. So I use this one here. If we display the information, and there we go, that's the JavaScript I need to show you the browser identity. Okay, so I've copied that to the clipboard. And actually, while we're here, in fact, no, let's come out of that. And another thing you're going to want to do, most of you probably have already done this, but the QWERTY keyboard, on-screen keyboard you can see there, is really slow for typing, so you're going to want to click that button there to switch to the phone style layout, which is way quicker. So if we paste the JavaScript here, which displays the navigator user agent string, and there you go. Yeah, so that's the original browser identifier. Okay, now why you'd want to use the old browser is because if you find a website that has direct links to videos, you know, is it MP4 videos, the old browser will play them, will stream them from the browser, whereas in the new one, your only option is to download them. So particularly on like the mobile version of a website, you can use the old browser to, you know, stream videos. And another reason you might want to use the old browser is if you feel like a bit of retro gaming, and I'll include links in the description for all the games that I host on my website. The performance of Adobe Flash in the old browser was quite a bit better than the new browser. So I've saved another one in here. Where is it? And this game I'm going to show you here, I actually modified it to make it compatible with the PlayStation 3 controller. So you could use the D-pad keys to move about in the game, and then to actually use an object that you find, you hold down X and then push up, and then and this is quite a good little game actually. I've finished it some time ago, so let's load that up. Turn down the sound here a bit. Right, if I grab the actual PlayStation 3 controller. So as it says, you press R3 to zoom, and for this game I recommend switching the to the right hand configuration for the keys. Just makes more sense, I think you'll find. So let's go back. And let's stay with easy. So yeah, so there I can move about. But the crucial thing is, yeah, that you could do that without any modification of the game. But what you couldn't do is this. So if I now hold down X and look in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there, the inventory area, you'll notice I'm moving the inventory square there. And then, as I say, to use an object, obviously position yourself where, let me show you, if I go through the door here. So to open that that door at the far end, which I'll get to, you need an amulet. So if you had that amulet in the highlighted square in the bottom left, you would press X and then cursor up, and that would actually use the object that you found. Okay. Okay, so let's exit out of the old browser here, and let's go to the actual current browser. And this defaults to the PlayStation site, so I'm going to quickly cancel that so it doesn't take forever. And as again, you know, you'll likely already have done this, you're going to want to go into Tools and Homepage and change it to, like, you know, I'll set mine to google.com, you know, so you've got the search engine as your default homepage. In fact, let's actually do that while we're here. So Google, oops. Sadly, Maps hasn't worked in the browser for some time, and just recently Bing also, they had a version of Maps, and that no longer works either, so that is a shame. So let me prove that we're now in actually a different browser. So if I bring up if I get rid of the address there, so to clear a whole bit of text, you just hold down the square button and press L1 like so, and then let's paste back in the JavaScript to display the user agent. And as you can see, so based on Apple WebKit, blah blah blah. Okay. Now, a crucial trick that you need to use all the time is turning off JavaScript when you don't need it, because if you do that, the browser will actually remember your important cookies, like on Google here. I've remained signed into Google practically forever. You know, it hasn't forgotten my credentials for the Google site and YouTube, etc. All the time I've been using the browser. because the storage space for cookies is unfortunately very limited. So you know, if you visit most sites with JavaScript on, you'll find it's going to eat up that cookie area very quickly, and then you start losing your main cookies. And another reason you want to keep JavaScript off is it can reduce the amount of crashes you get in the browser. Now I'm actually hopefully going to demonstrate a crash for you, because there's another important thing you need to know here. So let's try going to BBC News, because just recently that started crashing every time I've gone there with JavaScript if I've accidentally left it on. So let's try bbc.com news. Typical. That actually appears to have recovered, which is annoying, because okay, so I found something that will crash the browser, and well, you look at that. It's the official UK forum. That's wonderful, isn't it? Okay, so let me restart the browser. Or rather, restart the PlayStation. And if you've been using the browser for any length of time on various different sites, you're bound to have had a crash and get this page. And what you want to do here is just press circle, because if you allow it to check for corruption, it can take absolutely forever. And in my experience, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference. And I think that's because 99% of the time, the PlayStation 3 hasn't completely crashed. You know, there is, you know, if you're able to press the power button there and it's able to shut down, then, you know, it's still perhaps saving things in memory to the hard disk. So you don't actually get any corruption. So as I say, just press the circle there to exit that, and I've done that like literally hundreds upon hundreds of times, and I haven't experienced a single issue regarding corruption. In fact, I've even had on occasion you can get the ultimate crash where even pressing the power button doesn't do anything, you know, where you have to actually hold down the power button for like, 10-15 seconds for it to force a power down. And again with that, I've just pressed circle and it hasn't been a problem. Okay, so let's go back into user one again here, and back into the browser. Right, let's go to YouTube and see how bad it is at the moment. I haven't been to the home page on YouTube forever in the PS3 browser. Alright, it does that. Yeah. So let's let's go home, and let's say we search for okay, so I've done a search here for PS3 Flash games, and I see there's a site at the top here. I've had a quick look in there. Yeah, there might be some extra games in there that you can play in the in either of the versions of the browser. You should, because that was the post there is from 2011, when the new browser was introduced in February of 2012. So if any of those games need the D-pad, you'll need to use the old browser, because the new browser, the keys don't work at all. Okay, and if performance is an issue, again, use the old browser instead, as I showed you previously. But what I wanted to do was show you the state of YouTube. So let's go back in here. So this is with JavaScript on, and as you can see, it's been like this for quite some time now. YouTube is completely broken, which is where my PS3 Bookmarklet comes in. And let me very quickly show you the setup of that. And again, I've saved that. I've copied the address of that to another one of my videos here. So let's go in here, information, this is the home page. So I can just quickly demonstrate the procedure of setting the Bookmarklet up. So let's open a new window. Okay, so this is the PlayStation 3 Bookmarklet homepage. So just scroll down here to the setup area, and you just press triangle, file, copy address of this link. Okay, then you bookmark that page. Press options, edit, of course. So delete the home off the end of there, cursor down to the address and delete that, and then you paste in the actual Bookmarklet JavaScript that loads the Bookmarklet. Okay, save that, and then press circle to come out of there, and then hold down circle to close the window there. Okay, so then, then select. There you go, and hopefully oh right, yeah, most of you have worked this one out, but what you need to do is just cursor down to do not display this again, and yes, I want to run the plugin. So let's pause that. I haven't even looked at this video. Now the nice thing with my implementation here is I've included support for all the video buttons on the remote. Right, yeah. So the scan buttons go back and forth 2 seconds. So if you're like trying to replay a scene, which I find extremely useful, you know, if I'm trying to show something in a video, the 2 second back and forth is very useful. And then if you need to jump a chunk ahead, then the scan buttons go back and forth. I think it's 10%. The other thing I've included is if you want to keep the video, I give you the option to download it in either 360 or 720p where it's available. So let's close that up. Actually, let me just show you how what that looks like. It has to use a separate window to get it to work. So if I press the 720p here, and you can see, so you get the usual thing. So if I press that, so there you go. So that's downloading. So let's abort that. So again, hold down circle to close that window. Let's get rid of that. And the one last thing I do here is I expand the description. So if there's a lengthy description with perhaps links to other videos, you'll be able to see the whole description there. Sadly, the comments you can see perpetually are going to remain loading, because that's yeah, without YouTube's JavaScript working, that's a non-starter. And again, you can no longer give the video a thumbs up or down, and for that you'd have to do that in the YouTube app itself. The same goes for subscribing to channels. For that you need to go into the YouTube app. Actually, yeah, you may have noticed I do display the thumbnails there for the suggestions by YouTube. At some point you will most certainly encounter a video that doesn't load. You know, YouTube have added some sort of protection to it to prevent it loading. So for those, if the video is nothing special, just use again the YouTube app. But if it's a top video that you want to keep, you can actually use copy the address of the video to the clipboard. So you just do the file, so triangle tools, oops, what am I talking about? So file, copy address of this page, and then use that on the keep vid site to download the video. And that appears to be able to work around the protection that YouTube built in. But you're using the actual YouTube page itself for downloads is much quicker, you know, where it actually loads. And if your only purpose is to download the video, then what you can actually do is to save the video playing or loading up at the same time, just press the stop button on the remote, and then it will prompt you, do you want to basically discard that, stop that loading, and say yes, and then that might improve the download speed as well, you know, if it's not trying to load it into the Flash player there. But the main feature of the Bookmarklet now, I mean, it does support, you can use it on things like Wikipedia, which it does a very nice job there. You know, you can like search the articles using the just cursor all the way left, and it will come up with a toolbar. And check out my other videos for the demonstration of the Wikipedia plugin. But the main feature is use the Bookmarklet with your subscription area, and I'll give you a quick demonstration of that. So let's come out of this user, and I will show you. So again, once you finish with this sort of like incognito user, just delete it, and bye bye. And the beauty of the browser, due to its, you know, the PlayStation architecture, it's impossible to get a virus, so you just don't need to worry about that. Okay, so let's go into my main. So this is on my main user account, and And what I do out of habit, I actually turn JavaScript off when I'm going to my YouTube subs. Let me just show you the address of that. So it's just, there you go, youtube.com feed subscriptions, and you need to of course be logged in to YouTube to access that. So tools, JavaScript back on, and then where is it, the Bookmarklet. Oh, we have a couple people in today. And I must say I'm quite proud of what I achieved here with the, it's like a cross-media bar style user interface, with each channel is like a column in the UI. In the top right corner there you've got your little info bar, you know, with the day and time. And I actually use one of the nice features in the new PlayStation browser is it supports HTML5, a few aspects of HTML5, including the canvases. So I use the canvas there to draw the clock, just like it appears in the actual XMB. So this is the PlayStation's XMB, and this is the actual my YouTube version of it. Okay, so let's actually go into a video here. What have we got? Anything of interest? I'm highly into politics, so you'll have to forgive me on that one. Furl Army, no. Oh, here we go, watch major, this will do. A really nice feature I built in here is you see the rating bar there, 14% for that video. What that is so 460 people have viewed the video and 14% of those have voted on it. So that gives you a nice indication of, a really good indication of how popular that video is, or unpopular as the case may be. You know, if it was really unpopular, you can see on the next one here, slightly more people have given that a thumbs down. And it's a real shame the actual YouTube app, so you can give a video a thumbs up or thumbs down, but it doesn't give you the blooming the ratings indicator, does it? So that's hopeless. Okay, so let's go into, I've pressed X there to go into the actual video page, and there's a few hardcore tips I'm going to give you in here. Because it occasionally goes a bit awry, but it's fairly easy to sort out. Now what you might find sometimes is, especially if you use the search feature, which I'll demonstrate in a second, videos, you'll hear the sound is like going in slow motion. But what I do is I detect that, and it takes like 20 seconds or so to actually detect that. So just allow the browser to detect that it's playing the video in slow motion, and it gives you the option to restart the Flash player there, and that 9 times out of 10 that will fix the issue. Okay. Another thing, if you're a hardcore browser user, you may do things like this. So I've pressed L3 there, and then, you know, I might need to go off and do a Google search or something. Now what you may find is, after you've gone to the other browser windows, when you go back to the subs XMB display, it stops loading the videos, but all you need to do to fix that is, when you're on in the video area here, just turn off JavaScript. So that's tools, JavaScript off, and then on any of the suggested videos here, just hold down the enter or X button to load the video in another window, and that restores playback. Okay, so and then you just close that back down, turn JavaScript back on, and then you should find again the videos will start playing again. You know, you won't get an error message when it tries to load the video. And another cool thing I've built in here is that demonstrates true multitasking, because I believe the PlayStation, it uses one of the SPUs to play the Flash video, which frees up the processors to do other things. So what you can actually do is, let me demonstrate this. So if let me turn down the sound a bit here. So let's play the video, and then if you let me turn it down a bit more. If you turn off JavaScript, it will actually load the current default website that I have in here. You know, this allows you to load up web pages while you're listening to a video. So I have it set to BBC News. So if we tool JavaScript off, and for this you're going to need to use the PlayStation controller, you know, to zoom in. But listen to this, you'll notice that it doesn't miss a beat. So when I load another page, it doesn't, the sound doesn't hiccup at all. You see, that is pretty awesome. So you can be reading the news while listening to your video in the background. You know, if you and then let's mute the sound there. And to close the web window there, you just turn JavaScript back on. So to JavaScript on. At the moment in here, so I've got Wikipedia, which works quite nicely. NeoGAF is probably dead now, but but other, you can, if you find a website that works in the browser, you know, you can try it here. Now, some websites like Google itself. Let's pause that as well. They use a feature that actually prevents loading in a frame window that I use there. But if you find one that works, you know, again, you can just set the URL to that, and if you click the default button there, that will actually save it. As long as you leave it on page other, it will remember that that URL. So let me show you a few other features here. So to quickly get back to the channels area, you just press the L1 button, except in the instance where you've used that web feature. In that case, you need to actually click on the button on the left hand side there, like so. So let me get rid of the mute. Now, another nice feature of the SubXMP is search, because in the YouTube app you have no filtering options. You know, you can't filter the videos by the date or sort them at all. So, you know, if you're trying to find like current videos, that can make that quite difficult, you know, because it's going to show you more often than not, you know, the most popular ones. So let me just briefly show you that. So this is some guy who I sometimes listen to, although he does go on a bit. So there you go. So this is that guy's videos for this week. And if you hold down the, so you only use the D-pad for navigating in this XMB style UI, and if you hold it down like with the real XMB, then it will scroll faster. So let's go all the way to the bottom, and again you can load more videos. You'll find the slow-mo issue crops up more often with using the search, but as I said, just wait the 20 odd seconds and it will give you the prompt to fix it. Okay, so let's exit out of this, and I'm going to show you one other thing here. Which is related to quite a few pages. Unfortunately, don't load at all in the browser. But if we go, let's try searching for PS3 Browser. For the hell of it. But what you can do is you can use Google's cache to avoid that issue. So yeah, you see the cached link there, and it's really annoying. Google have fairly recently they've dumbed down the search experience in the PlayStation 3 browser, and you lose all the, if you type in like a simple question, it no longer just gives you the answer, and also the info bar on the right hand side is gone. But for the moment, at least, they still give you access to these cached links, and I'll show you what that actually looks like. So let's click on that. And let's go in here. This will do. Because one thing I discovered was that although it's not in the user interface, there is actually a find feature. So if you've got like a long article, you can use JavaScript to actually find a word. And let me demonstrate so I can see. Let's try searching for a zoom here. So to set up the find feature, you display the address dialog and square L1 to clear out the address, and you want to type JavaScript, which is a scripting language or programming language that's built into every browser, whereas Java is an entirely different technology that only some browsers support, and the PlayStation 3 browser isn't one of them. SC oops, and then colon. It must remain underlined, as you can see it there, otherwise it won't remember it the next time you type a few characters. So find open brackets, and then you have to use the single quotes. If you use double quotes, then again it drops the underlining there. So stick with the single quotes, and then semicolon, void 0. This last bit is necessary so it doesn't actually try to load another web page. Okay, and then press start to effectively commit that to the browser's long-term memory, if you like, and then you can type in the search term. So let's try zoom. There you go. But the crucial thing here is you'll notice when I now type JAV JA, can you see on the right hand side of the prediction, the find is one of the suggestions, so you don't have to type in the whole thing again. You can just and what you want to do is if there are quite likely more than one occurrence of the term, just copy it to the clipboard. So put the zoom in again and start. So press the copy button there. We want to copy all of that, and then just paste that in. If you want to do a case sensitive search, you can insert comma 1, which is shorthand for true. So let me demonstrate that. So if I copy that to the clipboard, saving how to keep typing that in, and this will probably come back. Oh right, it matched it because of course that is lowercase, but if I now change that to capital Z, that probably is going to find nada. Yeah, so where it doesn't find anything, nothing will happen. One last thing I'll mention is if you need to save some text, say you've been working on a really important email or something, and you want to like back up the text, what you can do is you can copy chunks of the text to the clipboard, and then you can actually save it into your bookmarks. You can amend the titles of your what am I doing here? Press select. You can amend the titles of your bookmarks, or just create like a bookmark of a random page, and then use that bookmark to save the text. So here we go. So I've got a check all thing here. So if I press the triangle, edit, so in the title there I can store like 1,000 characters of text. So just to show you the principle, so now I can save anything in there. So I'll put the JavaScript, and it will save that to the hard disk. So even if you get like a crash after that at some point, it will still be saved, and then obviously you just go back into your bookmarks and extract it from the title. And that's that's saved my bacon on a few occasions. So I'll end it there, and I must reiterate that trick I mentioned about turning JavaScript off. Try to get in the habit of doing that, because you'll reduce the amount of crashes you get, and as I say, it will remember your cookies for hopefully indefinitely, which has been the case for me. Because with JavaScript on, if you load up some new web page, it might eat up all your cookies in that one, just for that one page. And feel free to leave me any questions in the comments for the video. Bye for now.